All right, you guys, so sorry about that. It's gotten a little darker and a couple things had happened, so I had to go and tend to it. But so like I say, so Gina and Michael, and they were in there, and they were the crackheads, and they Michael was next door. So, you know, it was weird because we didn't know what was going on. So I guess it was a little surreal to all of us, you know what I mean? We didn't know what our fate was going to be. We didn't know what was going to happen. So we basically, you know, just started talking, and everybody started to kind of introduce themselves, and, you know, everybody found out what city and state each person was from, and what we talked about, what we did before we landed here in freaking prison in Jamaica. Or actually, this was jail. This wasn't even prison. Oh my God. Baby, if you think jail is bad, whoo, prison ain't no joke. But anyway, we went ahead and, you know, we got to know each other or whatever, as far as we could get to know each other, whatever. We were singing songs and just kind of, you know, trying to pass the time away. Everybody was like hyped up. We couldn't go to sleep, and we didn't want to go to sleep on the concrete beds, so we kind of just stayed up. Mind you, this was on a Friday, so I knew that on Monday I would be going to court, or at least I would be able to talk to the head of the jail, whoever that, the captain, her name was Captain Robinson. And so I knew that on Monday I'd be able to at least talk to her. So in the meantime, we had all of Saturday, all of Sunday, that we just kind of was in there. Now, mind you, there were locals that were coming in to the prison, or I'm sorry, I keep saying prison. There was locals that was coming in and out of the jail, and, you know, it's just like, I guess, in the States or whatever, they go to jail, and once they're sober, or once they, you know, whatever, if the charges aren't as bad, then they end up getting out. So they were coming in and out. There was Jamaican people coming in and out. There was also a couple of other people that came in, but for the most part, we just kind of, you know, everybody kind of just kept their cool. The next day was Saturday, and of course we're all hungry, you know what I mean? Like, so they do feed you breakfast, and they feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But breakfast, let me tell you guys what breakfast was. Breakfast was this thick piece of bread. I don't know what kind of bread this is called, but it was just like white bread, and it was just thick. And that's it. So bread and water, y'all. Let me tell y'all, the water was made of raw sugar and water. So it was just sweet water and bread. So that was for breakfast. For lunch, we got something called rock bun. So we got rock bun, which kind of reminds me of a fruit cake. Rock bun and cheese is what we got. And basically what you do is you can tear it in half and put the cheese in the middle and make a sandwich. And then we got the sugar water again. And then for dinner, it was like a bologna sandwich or something like that, still on that thick ass bread that didn't have no taste to it. It was just like it was made with pure, and it was very, very dense. It wasn't like the bread we have in the States, nice and soft bread. It was soft, but it was dense. It was thick. So we had that, and that was for dinner. And then we're still just, you know, singing songs and rapping and, you know, talking. And so finally I was able to go to sleep for a little while, and I'm still kind of sleeping with one eye open because I don't know these people, you know what I mean? And I'm in a different country. So we're going to fast forward to Monday because the same thing was going on Saturday. So anyway, Monday came, and I was able to go down and talk to the captain, which I didn't know her name. I know her name now. Her name is Captain Robinson. So she was letting me know that I was going to have to go, you know, to court, and there was the arraignment for them to tell you what the charges are. And at that time, you can either get a public defender, or you can, if your family had enough money, they could send it down to get a lawyer for you. Now in Jamaica, the dollar currency is different from California or from the United States. And at the time that I went, it was one American dollar was 33 Jamaican dollars. So you can kind of figure that, one of our dollars was a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money, but it was way more money than $1 that, we would just look at a measly $1 as $1. It was $33 when you went ahead and changed the currency over in Jamaica. So, I was able to talk to Miss Robinson, and, at that time I had also talked to my sister, and I told her, please don't tell grandmother, because my grandmother raised me. That's a whole nother story. So I didn't want my grandmother to know. Eventually she had to tell my grandmother, because we had to give me a lawyer. I didn't want a public defender, because again, I don't know what's going on out here. You know what I mean? I don't want a public defender to send me up the river. You know what I mean? So I went ahead and found out that my sister told my grandmother, and they got me a lawyer. When I went to court, no, the lawyer came to the jail. She came to the jail and she met with me. And you guys, this is a 2-tier prison. So the top tier was the Americans. The bottom was what they was calling Vietnam. And Vietnam had all the hooligans up in there. I mean, crazy people. I guess people that had been there for a long time, and these people they were so unruly. And there were men. There weren't any women down in Vietnam. But anyway, so I met with my lawyer, and she told me that she would be there with me on Monday. Let's back up. When Monday came, I only met with my lawyer. She came to the jail. She let me know that I wouldn't be going to court until like that Wednesday, because all the cases were backed up, and okay, it is what it is. Now, like I told you before, the currency is different in America than it is in Jamaica. I mean, the United States. It's all America in the United States. So that's how they make their money. So my lawyer, I think she charged $4,000 or something like that, or maybe $2,000 she charged. American money. And so my family sent it down. I went to court. Y'all got to stay tuned for the court, because, baby, Vietnam, let me just say, Vietnam was no joke. You got to walk past Vietnam in order to get into the bus to go to the courthouse. So we're going to get back to that, and you guys just stay tuned. Listen, so I had to go to court, and I ended up going to court. It was on a Wednesday. I met with my lawyer, and she drove in her own car, of course, and then I ended up, we ended up going to court. So let me tell you about the situation with getting to court. Getting to court, you have to walk downstairs, and you have to walk past the people in Vietnam. Vietnam ain't no joke. I'm telling you, these guys, they're throwing piss on you. Throwing piss on you as you walk past, and you trying to, get out the way so the piss that they dash on you don't hit you, because you're going to court, you trying to find out what's going on with your life, and these fools is trying to throw piss on you. But anyway, so every time I had to go to court, I ended up having to walk past the guys in Vietnam and dodge the piss. So did that, got to the courthouse. The courthouse was a small courthouse, and we got in there. I met with my lawyer. She talked to me. She told me what I was facing. We talked to the judge, whatever. And so they kept continuing the court proceedings. So, do y'all know I ended up staying in jail for 6 weeks? I stayed in jail in Jamaica for 6 weeks, dodging the piss, dealing with the sugar water and the thick ass bread and the rock bun and cheese. Now, let me tell you, and the bologna sandwiches. Let me tell y'all something though. Miss Robinson, she wasn't no joke. It was pretty cool how my family was able to send money, and this is what I was saying at first. The police officers, the lawyers, and the judges, those are the people that make a lot of money in Jamaica. Because my family was able to send money to secure my lawyer and to the police chief, Miss Robinson, girl, let me tell you, they was bringing me. They have this stuff out there. It's like it's like Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it's really not Kentucky Fried Chicken. But it's equivalent to Kentucky Fried Chicken, if that makes any sense. It tastes just like it. Girl, they was bringing me Kentucky Fried Chicken. They was bringing me Miss Robinson. She called me to her office, and I had to go to her office. She gave me hair ties for my hair and grease and all this stuff I was having in jail. Now, also, the cooked meals, I guess they kind of, it was like, okay, well, let her just get cooked meals, or not cooked meals, let her get the Kentucky Fried Chicken. They were giving me the Kentucky Fried Chicken and stuff like that. Nobody else was getting that. So they realized, okay, she's from California, Southern California, Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, and, it's a lot of money roaming through California. And so they realized, okay, well, her family is going to make sure that they pay for her and make sure that she's okay while she's here. So they made sure that I had the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then there was this, they would give me hamburgers. Now, everybody else was eating rock bun and cheese and bologna sandwiches and the thick ass bread with the sugar water. And I was eating that some days too, but for the most part, I was getting cooked food. Now, another thing about the jail in Jamaica is the police officers would bring you weed. It was in a little plastic bag. Like if you take if you take one grocery bag that we use right now, and you put a little bit in there, probably about a gram, put in there, and you twist it up, and then you tie it in a knot, and then you cut it. It looked like a little ball, probably about that big. They would give you weed, and they was probably giving you the same weed that you was, done got caught at the airport with. I wouldn't doubt it. So they were doing that. So we were smoking weed up in the jail. I was getting the food. It was all good. Anyway, I had to, like I say, dodge Vietnam throwing the piss at me every time I went to court. Let me tell y'all, when it finally came to 6 weeks. Oh yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you guys, I know you guys remember this, but I had my 26th birthday, my 27th birthday in jail in Montego Bay. Also, that was the same year Eazy-E died. So that can get, Eazy-E died of AIDS, right? Yeah. Yeah, Eazy-E. Yeah. So it was then. I remember that specifically because I remember, we didn't have cell phones or anything in there, but I remember, finding out that Eazy-E had passed away. Anyway, so you guys, I did 6 weeks in the in the jail, and then, my last court date, I went to court. And you guys, let me roll my window up so you guys can hear me, because it might be a little loud. Also, I need to smoke a cigarette for this one, y'all. Yeah, these stories that I'm telling you guys are true stories, and so they are triggering. And not only this story from Jamaica, but there's going to be lots and lots of other stories, like I told you before in my intro. So if you missed the intro, go back and check it out. Also, you guys hit the like button, leave a comment, share the videos, subscribe to my channel, you know what I mean? You know, because, and also, you know, make sure you give me the thumbs up, hit the like button. It all helps. I ended up going to court the last time. You guys, they gave me 6 months. And that was only because my grandmother sent money to the lawyer and to the police officer that made sure that I had a hairbrush and the essentials for me to be able to deal in jail. I got 6 months in prison. So mind you, it was 6 weeks plus the 6 months. Ain't no time served out there. But yeah, it actually would have been a 4-year sentence. I got 6 months. Y'all stay tuned, because the next story time is going to be about how I was transported from jail and ended up being in Fort Augustus prison in Jamaica, West Indies. Fort Augustus, West Indies, Jamaica prison. It was called St. Catherine. St. Catherine is what it was called. And I want, before I go, I met a guy. The day that I got sentenced, there was this guy that I met in prison. In jail. His name was something Cargill. He said to me, once I got that sentence, I was devastated. They put me in a holding cell, waiting for the... Wait, I'm not supposed to tell y'all this right now, because I still got to tell you guys about how I was transported from... I might as well just go ahead and tell y'all. So anyway, after we got to walking past Vietnam, the bus that takes us to prison, we're all together like this, and they put us in this little bitty bus, and in that bus, you're handcuffed and you're standing up, and the bus is going here and there. It only about maybe 8 people could fit in the bus. So you're standing up, and it's probably about an hour and a half, 2-hour ride. And you're in the bus, and baby, when I tell you that, you know, the bus is going here and there and everywhere, and you tied to this pole, you tied to a pole, and we're driving. And they're driving on these little roads, and the roads are going here and there, and you know, the other people can't pass by, you know. It was crazy. There was a men's prison that was down the road that was in Kingston, but the women's prison was in Fort Augustus. Now, when I tell y'all about Fort Augustus, this is what you guys are going to have to hold on and wait for, because Fort Augustus in St. Catherine, West Indies, Jamaica, baby, it wasn't no joke. So stay tuned.